Tonight on EA Sports, it's Super Bowl Sunday.
Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Cook as they begin on the ground, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
From the 27, Cousins, his throw incomplete. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. It's complete. And he will get in to make it 8-0. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Cousins on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Had the pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. The ball resting on their own 5 here as they come up to the line on 2nd and long. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Cowboys will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
So the Cowboys now bringing the offense out there to go for 2. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Thorough domination right now, and the game plan is simple, obviously, Charles. They're going for 2 after every touchdown, and it's 24-0.
Don't you just get the sense right now that they're just flexing? I mean, you'd be able to do whatever they want, how they want, 3 two-point conversions. And now they're up 24-0. So essentially they gained a field goal out of it without even trotting the kicker out there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing, Cousins. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick-6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for two, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. And they turn the pick six into a pick eight with that two-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized a little bit on top.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dorrance Armstrong. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
The Cowboys out in front early. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Prescott now after the fumble recovery.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That fights him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
Fourth down, Prescott. And it's caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cook up the gut. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
From the 44, Cousins, and his throw is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. Was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain it? He's got a man complete. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Cowboys are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl.
So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Dallas returns on offense, and among the weapons, Michael Gallup at wide receiver. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so...
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. Michael Gallup with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Cowboys are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
After the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space. And
now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them?
Touchdown, Cowboys!
CeeDee Lamb.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him All those times you talk to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. Two-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
A first down throw for Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 53 yards.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line. And now will they use a timeout? And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. And here's Ryan Wright now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. So the halftime show in the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Michael Gallup, 75 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Cousins now to throw on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins.
K.J. Osborne, the one he was looking for.
And now it's third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Dallas returns on offense, and among the weapons, Michael Gallup at wide receiver.
Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches. Oh, he's got a man. Complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 95 yards.
And the Cowboys extend their lead yet again.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count. But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll throw again. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So now, I think even our referee is confused. The defense accepted the holding penalty, but they just got the ball on the fumble recovery, so that will be negated. That's a tough one to comprehend.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. 20, 10, 5. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. He's hoping to take what has been a good game here and make it a great game. So far, solid, and we're still in the 3rd quarter.
And there's nothing wrong with solid. You want to be that. You want to be real.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown! Michael Gallup, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This is taken at about the 14.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale.
We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 95 yards. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the fourth quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. K.J. Osborne, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be second down. Here's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. Finding room at midfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. K.J. Osborne, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. Cousins. The quick throw finds T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines. But he's got a man complete. The 20. Touchdown. Michael Gallup. 91 yards. And the Cowboys are pouring it on. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Vikings head out to take over once again. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive 1st and 10. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there.
And now it's second down. Cousins to throw it.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this?
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
First down, here's Cousins. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A second down throw for Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So the Cowboys now bringing the offense out there to go for 2. Prescott to throw it, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick-6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown.
What impressive performance just became a little bit more impressive here as they add yet another score to the ledger late in the 4th quarter.
And not much has stopped them at any point in this game, partner. This is just an old-fashioned blowout right here. They probably could put the brakes on themselves, but they elected not to and played this one all the way out.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. And that's caught at the 2. And he's not going to make it to the goal line. They've been perfect on the night in 2-point conversions, but not here, as this time they come up empty. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. So now, yet again, the Cowboys are going to line up here to go for 2. Looking to throw, Prescott. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmaker.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some.
Tonight, it's the National Football League. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys taking on...
Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he is going to be tackled at the 1-yard line. What a mess that was.
That return, it will not be on the postseason highlight reel. If you're the offensive coordinator, you've just changed your play calling because you thought you might have some field to work with. Instead, now, you've got to call plays that won't make mistakes.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man. Complete. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. To throw is Prescott. And they're going to get 2 more. He's got it. So that didn't take long. Quickly, 8-zip. Opening drive touchdown, and 2-point conversion.
Amazing nowadays for the kickers. I've actually talked with a few of them. They're more concerned about the point after touchdown than actually missing regular field goals. So maybe the coach is taking some pressure off here and just going for 2 and saying, I'm saving you for the big stuff later.
He's hanging out by the net.
First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
2 years ago, we saw Dak Prescott carted off the field with a major injury. And 2 years later, here he is leading his Cowboys into the Super Bowl. What a rewarding moment for one of the league's most inspirational players.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Prescott now. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 39, Prescott throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Cowboys will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it with...
Touchdown, Cowboys! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott able to hit his target, Lamb.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him...
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Here's Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is rough.
He's got a man, complete, past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight.
And the Cowboys are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. That's caught.
Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this lead could become.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On play action, Prescott. Incomplete.
He could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. First down, Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott.
Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Noah Brown from 10 yards out.
And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touch.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 67 yards.
And the Cowboys continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for 2. They'll look to throw. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They start on the ground with Elliott. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Oh, Prescott stripped. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. A first down throw for Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
How about
about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
This is taken at the 10. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Dallas returns on offense, and among the weapons, Michael Gallup at wide receiver.
He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter. He's got a man complete. The 20. Touchdown. Michael Gallup, 95 yards.
And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead.
And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record. 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3-and-out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
He'll look to set up his blockers. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get...
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 66 yards.
And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. He'll drop to throw. Open man Lamb. It's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Prescott yet again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott, left side to Lamb. Touchdown! CeeDee Lamb, 53 yards. And the Cowboys get a late score here, the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. What a disaster there.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
Out of his end zone, Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup. They've got his man complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. A fairly short kick from the 14. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Prescott. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. On 2nd down, Elliott. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and they will remain well behind.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 51 yards. And the Cowboys just continue to roll. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Prescott on first down. He's got Brown on the out route complete. On the move past the 40. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. To the air again, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him.
No
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown. Michael Gallup, 58 yards. And the Cowboys have got it on cruise control. Now Mike McCarthy going to decide to go for 2 here. They'll look to throw here. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
From the 38, Prescott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Prescott looks to throw on first. He'll fire this deep for Gallup, and this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Back to throw again.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Dak Prescott able to connect with Dalton Schultz. And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Marr, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's going.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
25 yards there on the catch and run. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And again, it's Prescott. That's caught once again by Gallup.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, Prescott. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. And the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Marr on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, Prescott here to throw. Going to take a shot for Gallup. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end the ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.